tormenting Guatemala has claimed dozens of lives, and emergency crews are scrambling to keep the death toll from rising.
The Fuego volcano roared back to life over the weekend. 62 people now confirmed dead. Have a look at that video. We still don't know how many might be missing in all of that.
A river of lava and blankets of smoke and ash, burying entire communities there and catching millions off guard. These images that you're looking at are almost apocalyptic as people try to outrun that menacing cloud behind them.
Yeah, and it travels at extraordinary speed as well. This volcano west of Guatemala's capital is one of Central America's most active, and while it seems to have quietened down for now, the danger far from over. Fleeing for their lives, many on foot, residents living near Guatemala's volcano of fire say they were caught off guard. In one village, a woman covered in ash tells emergency workers she ran as lava poured into cornfields. In another nearby town, a distraught mother tells of her escape and her desperate search for her children. Amateur videos show people racing away from what's called pyroclastic material, a flow of ash and lava particles and vapour. Such clouds are often extremely hot and they move extremely quickly, sometimes as fast as a commercial airliner. And they can reach for kilometres away from the volcano. Emergency workers face a roadblock of steaming lava and debris, carefully skirting the flow as they search for survivors and victims. Rescuers worked into the night, recovering some people with severe injuries and a number of bodies of those who were not able to outrun the deadly eruption. Sometimes using heavy construction equipment to clear the debris. With daylight, they carefully sift through steaming debris, hoping to recover the bodies of some of those who did not escape. All the while being threatened with more activity from the volcano, working under difficult and dangerous conditions.
The challenge we've faced is that the volcano has been active and also working with this kind of material, which is extremely hot. That makes the work of rescuers even more difficult because we are talking about temperatures of about 30 degrees Celsius, still felt on the ground while we work.
But more volcanic activity on Monday sends people fleeing again. Residents run down the street shouting, "The lava is coming." Emergency workers also forced to evacuate the area. Thousands have now been displaced from this area, emergency shelters set up where authorities are working to help people find loved ones. Rescuers will have to continue to search for the missing and the dead, as experts say the threat from the volcano of fire continues.
Last hour, we spoke to a volcanologist from Concord University and asked what, if anything, can one do to survive a sudden eruption?
Get out of valleys. These things usually flow down valleys. They can overtop the edges of them as well, but the most dangerous areas around this volcano are the valleys.
That's good advice. I'm wondering, you're a volcanologist, is it possible to predict, because this has been a very active volcano, it has activity routinely, but not like this. Is it something that can be predicted, or is this just Mother Nature at work?
Sometimes, but it's very complicated because each volcano has its own personality. So every volcano has a different lead up to an eruption. And while they give us signs, it's not going to tell us necessarily when it's going to erupt, how big the eruption is going to be, or how long the eruption is going to last.
The Fuego volcano stole some attention from Hawaii's Kilauea, whose dramatic eruptions have captivated the world for weeks. Thankfully, no one has been killed there.
Or at least not yet, and hopefully it stays that way. And that's because Kilauea's mode of destruction is lava, like we've been seeing now for weeks. Fuego, on the other hand, unleashed a mix of ash, gases and rock, which tends to be more dangerous because it cannot be outrun.
Kilauea's lava, however, is still swallowing homes there. Scott McLean shows us where it's heading.
We have confirmation that the lava is reaching the ocean, and this means two things. First off, it means that everyone on the south side of this part of the Big Island, where you see those trees, where you see those oceanfront homes and cottages, they are essentially cut off from the rest of the island. On one side, they have the Pacific Ocean. On the other side, they have what is essentially a river of molten lava. And this white smoke that you see, that is a sign of where it's entering. It's lava haze you're seeing, or laze. It is a potentially deadly mixture of gases, hydrogen or hydrochloric acid, steam, and tiny bits of glass as well. It is really a nasty mix that you don't want to be around. You can also see that dark smoke there over to the right side. Those are houses burning, structures. Keep in mind, this is an entire neighborhood. This is the Kapoho Vacation Land area, and there are several hundred homes, several hundred cottages. All of them most likely will be in the way of the lava at some point, because this entire stretch is about a half a mile wide, and really it has nowhere else to go but through these homes. We know that there are about a dozen people. There were about a dozen people over the weekend who were stranded on this south side. 3 of them were rescued, and so now there may be about 9, but there is no water on that side. There is no power on that side. There's no cell phone service. There's no landline service, and so there's no way to communicate with these people or to know exactly where they are. Authorities, they're doing regular flights over the area to look for any signs of distress, smoke signals. Maybe someone has written SOS on their roof or on their lawn, any signs of looking for help. But for the meantime, those people are cut off and they really have nowhere to go.
Also in the aftermath, acts of international kindness. Shriners Hospital in Galveston, Texas, receiving 6 children badly burned in the eruption. A Mississippi Air National Guard C-17 provided the transport. The ash from the eruption spewed to heights of nearly 33,000 feet above sea level and spread as far as Guatemala City, 40 miles away, affecting 1.7 million people. These latest images of fiery destruction, reminiscent of the eruptions that incinerated parts of Hawaii's Big Island last month. Mount Kilauea lobbing lava bombs in the air, shooting methane through cracks in the earth.
That's the fissure that we've been looking at for a couple days now.
My colleague Matt Gutman was on scene.
That lava being geysered up in the air is probably going 100 and 150 feet up.
That eruption displaced hundreds, destroying at least 117 homes and buildings, and incinerated miles of the state's picture-perfect landscape.
I've been in Hawaii pretty much my whole life, born and raised, and I've never seen an event this big.
That volcano still smoking today, but no deaths or serious injuries have been reported, a far cry from the loss in Central America. A key difference, Volcan de Fuego is located on the Ring of Fire, a belt characterized by both extreme earthquakes and powerful volcanoes. And many of these eruptions on the Ring of Fire are pyroclastic, meaning the hot gas and volcanic matter move not slowly and plodding like what we see in Hawaii, but at a rapid pace. This, coupled with the lack of advance warning, contributing to the very different fallouts. In Guatemala, they plan funerals and temporary shelters, thousands forced from their homes, now sleeping on the floor, many places like this, left to wonder how they can possibly rebuild.
They're not sure when he's going to be able to return home just yet. He's saying it's still too dangerous for him right now.
For Glendy, the ones she once loved most in this world are now being pulled from underneath the vast expanse of gray ash. This mountainside, she says, will never be home again. For Nightline, I'm Victor Oquendo in Alotenango, Guatemala.
The boy's tired of running, tired of denying your true nature. I care because I know how special you are. Join me. Bring together specialty with special privileges. Take the diamonds. They are yours. I don't want your diamonds. Not this. village, far inland, 2 days from here.
And then this rock is more valuable to me than his life. He says it came from the sky. Says it came from the sky. He's telling the truth. You know the language, though. A media fragment. He says that it's sacred.
Why is the moon so lonely?
Why?
Because she used to have a lover.
You tell this to the kids?
No. His name was Kwekuwatsu, and they lived in the spirit world together.
Oh, that's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And every night, they would wander the skies together. But